Hey everybody, what's going on? Matt with Gear Focus, and I'm excited to be coming back with another episode of our creator interview series. We haven't done one in a while. I was planning on traveling in 2020 and meeting a lot of creators and doing these interviews, and unfortunately due to COVID, that kind of got nixed. So I have Nema with me right now, who is a fantastic real estate photographer. He does some portrait work as well too. And we're going to discuss, and he's going to share some advice for anybody who's starting out in real estate photography or has been doing it for a little while and wants to improve their skill set. We want to try to bring you some useful information, so stick around because there's going to be some amazing advice and information from Nema to get you guys at the level that you want to be. So without further ado, everybody, this is Nema, and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. No problem. It's good to have you. Nema's local, so we've been friends and known each other for a while.
Yeah.
Done some work. He actually did my headshots for me, and those came out horrible because I'm ugly. We never like pictures of ourselves.
No,
do
it was
we?
good.
Yeah.
You did great.
Yeah, it was all right. We'll have to do some more fun ones.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, but again, like I said, Nema does real estate photography. What's the name of your company?
Nima Mohammadi Photography.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they can visit you at your website. We'll throw that up to check out some of your work, and obviously we're going to be sharing some of that work now throughout the video. Some amazing real estate photography. You showed me one image, which I'll throw up right now, which looked like it could have been out of a magazine, like a Crate and Barrel magazine. So phenomenal work, attention to detail, amazing lighting, great editing. I absolutely admire your work.
Thank you.
Definitely. So why don't you share with our audience how you got started in real estate photography, when, and what made you get into real estate photography?
Okay. The short answer is by accident.
Okay.
I have no background. I had no background in photography.
Okay.
6 years ago was the first time I actually grabbed a camera, and I was terrible even with doing in auto mode.
Okay.
So I was a real estate agent at that time, working with the team as a buyer agent, and I don't know what happened. One day, our team leader said, "Do you have a camera?" I said, "Yeah, I have a camera." My camera was one of those cool pics.
Okay.
P7000 Nikon.
Okay.
And I said, "Yeah, I'll have a camera." I don't know, they're still around.
Yeah, they're still around.
Maybe $25, maybe something like
Well,
that.
people,
But anyway,
photographers are actually using.
I was
those
proud
to
of
get
it
rid
though
Yeah.
at that time. So I said, "Yeah, I have it." Why? I said, "Well, we need somebody to take a picture of that house." Real estate photography at that time wasn't a thing. So not all the agents, usually they go with snap it with their phone.
Right.
Or if they have a camera, with the camera, but it doesn't matter. So I said, yeah, how hard it can be, right?
Right.
How much time I have? Let's say about 3-4 days before we get ready, all the paperwork and stuff. So I start searching. I come up across the HDR.
Uh-huh.
I start doing HDR handheld with my terrible camera.
Okay.
Results was terrible. They like it. And it starts from there. Back in 2015, I started as a part-timer shooting for other people.
Mm-hmm.
By 2017, it was my full-time job.
Okay.
And so far we shot a little bit over 3,000 house.
Wow.
So far. Yeah.
Since 2015.
From when I started, yes.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
So did it ramp up? So 2015, how many houses do you think you shot?
On the first year?
Versus like every year, did you double your work? Did you triple
in
your
2015, when I started, I shot 75 house that year.
Okay.
Last year we did 875.
Okay.
This year probably we're gonna pass 1,100.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So
yeah. So
we're
almost
growing.
doubling.
Yeah, it's almost 40-50% increase every year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all started from there. Then after a while, I didn't like the picture. So, if they pay for this kind of quality, what if I really, really learn it? That was my first year.
Right.
So I start going to the Facebook pages, learning everything, try it. Before I officially starting as a full-timer, I had probably 1,600 picture of my own house.
Wow.
In different styles until I like one, I stick to it, and I'm still using the same method.
Right.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's how I started. So.
Let's talk. You mentioned your first camera. Can
you show a picture?
Yeah, let's show a picture of that camera right now. So if you guys are just getting started, go with this model because clearly it was successful for you and it worked out. But obviously, as a bunch of gearheads here at Gear Focus, let's talk about the gear that you use now and maybe the transition of how you made.
I mean, I have a Nikon Z6 camera. I have a D750 as a backup. I use Godot's 8200 flash on all my shot, no speed light at all.
Yep.
Benro camera, tripod. My lens are most of them except one is Tamron G2.
Okay.
I love that lens. It works perfectly even for headshot. Portrait, I have different size of that.
Right.
The only other lens that I have is a Nikon tilt shift.
Oh, the tilt shift. Okay.
24 millimeter that I use in some of my work. Yeah.
Right. When you need to get that perfect angle and those tough shots.
Sometimes, especially for exterior when you're on a hill or something.
Right.
What else? Oh, I shoot at tether, so I use Cam Ranger.
Oh, Cam Ranger. Okay.
Yeah, I will not shoot anything without Cam Ranger. I mean, it's perfect for what we do.
It makes your workflow easier.
A lot, plus the style of work that I'm shooting, I have to walk around and shoot with my flash in hand.
Right.
Then I hand paint everything in Photoshop, so I have to be able to see where I'm going with my iPad.
Gotcha.
Instead of putting it in timer and walk and jump like this to make it happen.
Right.
I can easily go hide myself behind the door or something.
Right.
So Cam Ranger is essential in my business as well. Yeah.
And it's Cam Ranger for those who aren't familiar with it that maybe want to check it out. It's Cam Ranger, and that's a wireless system that can go to your iPhone or an iPad.
Yeah, it's connected to your phone. It's generate Wi-Fi signal. Your iPad or iPhone can grab that Wi-Fi and connect everything that has in the camera. All the setting stuff is on your iPad. I don't touch my camera basically except the composition.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we can change the stop, shutter speed, anything, even focus on anything you want.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. That's pretty cool. You have to show it to me one day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So Nikon, Tamron lenses. The one tilt shift, you use Godox, you said, which I've been using Godox for a while too. I don't do a lot of flash photography or anything like that, but I'm familiar with the 8200, which is a very popular light. You mentioned some Facebook groups, and we're always about feeding people's passion and spreading the word of good information, because there's so much information out there. I mean, people can go and take courses on real estate photography and things like that, but sometimes it's us helping them point them out in the right direction. Correct. And you mentioned some Facebook groups. Are there any Facebook groups that helped you when you initially got started that you would recommend to somebody to check out and join?
Sure. Real estate photography is the name of the group in Facebook.
Okay.
There's a lot of them. After that, they separate them based on needs. Some of them interior, some of them exterior, twilight, or whatever, drone.
Yeah.
So that specific website, I spent the first year every day reading all the stuff that's going on for an hour and a half.
Right.
Because you don't know anything when you start, so you want to grab.
Yeah.
But the best way to do it is a lot of tutorial. Go find pictures that you like, style of work that you like, then focus on that instead of going all direction. I try HDR, I try natural light, I try flash by itself only, and finally the flash ambient blend that I'm doing was the one that clicked.
Okay.
And I said, oh, I like this look. I don't care how hard it's going to be, but I like this look. So I concentrate on that one, and I learn everything that I can to provide the quality that real estate photography needs.
Right. And I'm just going to keep referring to it as that magazine quality, where just everything looks perfect, lighting wise.
Sure.
You don't have any hot spots. And that's the trouble with flash, is you're moving flash around all the time. I know I've dabbled in real estate photography, basically where you were when you had the cool pics. I just had better gear at the time, so I cheated. I didn't have the skill, but I had the gear, which is not the way you want to roll. But it wasn't something that I was passionate in. And so help me and help our audience understand a little bit more about what attracted you to the type of the photography that you just mentioned, where you're combining flash and light painting?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Every one of those style of work has pros and cons. So let's go with the natural light.
Okay.
Natural light is perfect. It looks natural. Okay. But it depends on where those lights gonna reflect. If you have an orange flooring, then you have some trouble with the color cast, or this kind of stuff. It's not crisp when it's natural light.
Okay.
When you use flash, it's crisp. It's its real color. But let's imagine we shooting a room from the door, and there is a window far back. If you use the flash only in hand or on the top of camera, the main power source or light source, instead of being from outside, is going to be inside. So all your shadows goes in the different direction as it naturally is supposed to be. So it's unbelievable, kind of.
Yeah, right.
And then most of the time you have a fan or chandelier, the shadow's going to end up over there.
Right.
So I tried to find a way to do that one, and I find out somebody was doing the flash ambient, and I liked the look, and I couldn't figure out how he does that. So I reach out, talk to other people. So what we basically do, we take 1 or 2 ambient shot.
Okay.
We take 1 or 2 flash shot, and then hand blend everything in Photoshop to grab everything that we want from each pieces.
Gotcha.
So we gather all the pros from those 2 type of work in one picture.
Best of all worlds.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the fastest,
right?
But I think the result is the best you can get.
Gotcha.
I mean, HDR, I know a lot of people that do the HDR in the highest level you can even say is HDR, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But still, I like that look better.
Right, absolutely. Well, and we can show some examples. In fact, the stuff that I did, I was using the GH5 at the time, and the GH5 is amazing HDR handheld. I mean, out of all cameras that I've used, and there's probably other ones out there, but amazing what you can take. Like, I've taken just of our living room and things like that. Maybe I'll throw up a photo right now so people can see what just a HDR looks like.
Sure.
And then if you wouldn't mind sharing with me, that I can throw up some examples of what we're talking about right now, showing the difference of just flash, just natural, and then once you combine it in Photoshop, what it ends up looking like for that melting together of all these different styles. Because, visually people need to see what what you're talking about.
Sure.
I know I do. I can picture it in my head, but I would love to see those steps, right? Like, hey, here's the flash, here's the shadows. You see the shadows, and then how do you paint that into Photoshop? And then we can leave some links in the description below to maybe some helpful tutorials that Facebook pages like we're talking about right now.
Sure.
So, all right, so. Not just about the style that you do of real estate photography, but just overall, over the past 5 years, what are some of the biggest challenges that you've faced that maybe you can help somebody who's getting started to prevent those troubles from happening, or learn how to deal and prepare for those challenges?
Let me answer it this way. If you just started, first of all, reach out to the people who you like their work.
Okay.
There's a lot of good photographers. There's nothing hidden right now. 20 years ago, if you want to learn something, you have to go and see somebody. If they teach you, there's no tutorial, no free video. There's a bunch of the stuff online.
Yeah.
I learned it online. I didn't took anything else. I just asked people, help me with this, help me with that, and gather all the information. If you're new, go do your research. There's tons of stuff that you can do. Find your own style that you like, master it. But one thing that I can tell them is that it's an art from your perspective, but it's a business from your client's perspective.
Right.
So you have to look at it as a business.
Right.
Listen to the client, listen to the market, see what they're asking for, and do it. I give you an example. I talked to a lot of clients after my second year, and I asked them, name 5 things that is important to you when you're dealing with me. Or any other photographer.
Okay.
And shockingly, quality of work wasn't in the top 3.
Okay.
And it's true, because
Right.
number 1 is real estate photography. The shelf life of those images is 3 to 6 months max.
Right.
Then agent's gonna throw it away. They're not gonna using it anymore.
Right.
If you show them something with 100% quality compared to 70%, most of them, respectfully, they don't see the difference.
Right.
So the quality is not there. What's important for them is you saving them time. How you can save them time? They said, well, we want to make sure that we just, if we want to book something, we don't have to call you, call the seller, call you, call the seller to make sure on both sides it's working.
Right.
So I said, if that's number 1, let's do online scheduling. So I set up online scheduling. They don't call me. They have access to my calendar for 45 days. They get on the phone, call the client. He got this times open. Which one? This one. Boom. Done.
Yep.
Instead of going back and forth.
Yep.
That was a huge for them. Number 2 was delivery time. On average in the market, its delivery time is somewhere between 24 hours to 48 hours on average. So I said, how about I deliver that one under 24 hours? And it works. It takes a lot of my time at the beginning for about the 9 months. I shot from 8 to 5, come home, eat dinner, start editing everything until 11 o'clock at nighttime.
And then had it to him.
Then after a while I said, I don't want to do this for a long time. That's where the power of leverage comes. You find people who wants to do editing for you.
Right.
In the style of work, train them to do it. They make money. You have a free time.
Right.
You can do more. You're not tired the next day, and
Right.
go on.
Yeah,
So
because you can't do everything.
It's just the art.
It's the blessing and the curse of a freelance position, right?
Yeah.
Freelancers all the time is you want to expand, you want to grow your business. You're always going to be limited if it's just you.
you're always gonna hit the ceiling. So you have to back up as far as income, as far as number of work that you're doing. Find a system, break through the ceiling to hit another ceiling and do it again.
Right.
So what I did at the beginning, I hit my ceiling by doing 370, 400 house a year, editing it myself.
Right.
Then I say, I either can go to 1,000 or I can stay here and do this and try to save a couple bucks.
Right.
So no, I'd rather to do more.
Right.
So obviously I'm gonna make more.
Right.
And have more client base.
Right.
So I back up a little bit as far as income, pay the editor to do it for me, and the next year from 375 I reached 600.
Right.
Just like that.
It's a long-term investment, right? Yeah.
It's an investment, plus you may get a little bit not losing money investing on somebody else, but you gain more in the long term. So yeah, just you have to be smart. It's a business.
Right.
Quality of work is your thing, is my thing.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say earlier.
I'm gonna take my work from this level to this level because of myself, not for my client.
Right.
They can see the difference.
Yeah.
if I deliver the HDR photo, they can't say why it's different than the other photos.
Right.
They're not expert in that
Right.
field. All they care is this size image
Well,
in MLS.
Right, especially if you don't provide them with A and B.
There you go.
Right, because they have nothing to compare it to.
Exactly.
Right.
So you doing those for yourself. So that's a part of it, that it's art and you have to do it. But you're a businessman if you want to survive.
Sure.
So that's my suggestion. Think about it both way. Be smart. Look at the market. Don't listen to anybody at the beginning when they tell you, oh, you're so cheap, you gotta raise your price. No, your quality of work compared to that guy is here to here.
Right.
So you have to charge accordingly.
Absolutely.
When I started, I charged $99 for a shoot.
Right.
It didn't even worth $99, but there was a market for that.
Right.
So I raised my quality of work and I raised my price. So my client came with that one.
Right.
I lost a couple of those clients that interested in those type of low quality
Right.
stuff, which is fine. It happened
Yep.
to anybody. So just go with, be smart about it. Be
Right.
a businessman when you start doing that. It's
Right.
not just art.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely. And that's what I was going to say before. It's for you. It's keeping you passionate and interested in it, because let's face it, like, we love gear.
yeah.
We love that final feeling of that final
Sure.
good image, right? We also like to look at people's work to get inspired. And you showed me that first photo, and you know, I've seen other photos you post on your Facebook page, and it inspires me to, like, it almost wants me to get back into real estate photography, because you're like, oh, could I create something like that? And I think that you had mentioned that, you know, back in the day, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you'd have to know somebody who actually was an instructor, or you had to go to school for photography. Like, I went to school for photography back in the film days. You know, spent 12 hours in the dark room.
Oh.
You know, so, but that now you can find this information anywhere to get inspired.
Yeah.
Because if you're not improving, you're not going to stay inspired.
No. True.
So it's not about the client. So you talked about it's not about the 100% versus 70% quality. The online scheduling. Do you have any recommendations for someone who wants to get into
I
online
use
scheduling?
Acuity, but there's a lot of them.
Okay.
There's a lot of them. Depends on which website you use. They have promotion all over the place for that. So
Okay.
yeah, I use that one just because it matched the website that I'm using as a promotional. They give us
Gotcha.
a discount or something. But
Well, we'll leave
there
some
are a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave a couple of recommendations that you provide me in the description. Okay, awesome. So that is a lot of challenges. That is very helpful if you guys are getting started in real estate photography, to keep in mind. You know, that it is a business, but your quality of work is keeping you inspired to keep working hard and to grow your business. So let's talk about what you have done to separate yourself from competition. How competitive is this market right now, and what have you done, and what services maybe that you've offered to set yourself apart, similar to what, like, with the ease of online scheduling
Sure.
and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there is any competition. There's a lot of company doing that. There's a lot of individual doing that, and there's a lot of business still to grab.
Right.
It's up to people, make a connection with the agents, go to the offices, talk to them,
Yep.
etc. I just did my part to separate myself so they can remember me instead of John Smith or the other people.
Right.
Okay? And those, by talking to the agent, find out what there is important, that which I talk about it, providing them.
Asking them
Tell
questions.
them that, tell them that, okay, most of the time agents don't want to be in the photo shoot. Especially when it takes 2 hours sometimes.
Sure.
They don't want to spend 2 hours. They can lead gen at that time and grab, more client.
Right.
Instead of sitting over there with you and talking to you and not letting you do your thing.
Right.
So by simply being joined of the realtor club in that area, be affiliated with them, be part of that club, and then access to something they call it in Maryland Century Card.
Century Card?
Century Card, open the lockbox, and you have to be part of that realtor organization here in Anne Arundel County that we have. The agent doesn't have to come over there and open the door for you if nobody's home. You have access to that one, you can go. Some small thing like that. Provide service, serve them. That's important. Art part of it, again, it's you.
Right.
You have to serve them to be able to do that. I mean, there's a lot of market. I know a lot of photographers doing the same thing. We are friends. We have a coffee. There is no competition like the other businesses in this.
Right.
You have your own thing, but you have to provide a service, your type of a client that match the stuff that you provide and the service that you provide. They're not going to leave you.
Right.
For it. What I offer, obviously the photography is one of them. I offer a 3D tour, floor plan based
Very popular
with
right
iGuide.
Yep.
Yes, pretty cool company. I do virtual staging for them in the empty houses. I'm a licensed pilot, so I can fly a drone anywhere almost. Yes, it's getting easier. Trust me.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially with the smaller drones.
And basically, I don't offer videos. Number one, I can't edit them. I don't like shooting them, and most of my client doesn't need that one. Again, it goes back to listen to what they want.
Absolutely.
I carry it 1 time, 2 time, offering them. They are more interested in 3D tour versus video, so I stopped carrying the stuff. You were around, so I sell it somewhere else. But no, these are the services that I do for them. 3D tour is around, I don't know, for 5, 6, 7 years maybe right now. It's starting with mainly with Matterport.
Right.
There's a lot of company coming and with a different style. I chose iGuide.
iGuide.
It was a good fit for me. So they provide a floor plan, which was important for my client.
Right.
They have a laser on the top of camera, so you measure all the rooms, and it gives them the detailed report of measurement.
Right.
Most of the time, they are more accurate than your tax record, because in tax record they're coming and measure around the house from the outside. They don't know what's the. But this one is more accurate, so a lot of agent loves that. Virtual staging is another thing that is popular among agents. It's very time consuming, so the price is higher than normal photography, picture by picture. But it's a great way for the vacant house. If you want to put some furniture, it can be done very bad and it can be done very good.
Yeah.
I was to start doing it at the beginning. It ate too much of my time, so I sent it to my editor now. So that's what we offer. These two are the other thing that you may want to carry. If your market accepts video and they're interested in video, offer them video.
Right.
There's a good margin in video.
Okay, so if someone wants to get into virtual staging, what would you recommend they start with?
I mean, reach out to the editor, mainly. As I said, at the end of the day, it's a business. You have to calculate it based on how much you make per hour work.
Right.
Don't count the first year of your work. You may end up, what I mean is that you may be better work in the McDonald's in the first couple months, really.
Right.
Because it was for me.
Right.
I spent a lot of time shooting a house that it needs to be shot in 45 minutes. I shoot it in 3 hours because I didn't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Then editing is the same thing. So 6 hours for $150.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that for a long time.
An hour, yeah.
So leverage that one to the editor. You'll be happy. It saves you a lot of time. It's nothing that you don't want to be an editor. You're a photographer. So let other people take care of the other part of that business for you. So it's
how did
easy.
you find your editors?
Great question. So what happened was, as I mentioned, I I wanted to deliver everything under 24 hours. I either had to do it myself from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. to be able to do it, or I have to find somebody who works at nighttime.
Right.
So it's very hard to find somebody who work at nighttime with a nice price in US or at least this side.
Right.
So what I find out that we have a 12 hours different with the far east of Asia. So I said, oh, good. So that means that if I upload my photo at 7 p.m., it's 7 a.m. for them. So they start working on it while I'm on the sleep.
Yeah.
When I wake up, it's end of the day, my photo should be ready at that time. So I start searching for the people who do editing on that side of the world.
I gotcha.
I find a lot of them, very good one, very bad one, price what doesn't work. But it took me 2 months, 2.5 months to train my editor.
Right.
Send them picture, I want it this way. They send it back, it wasn't there. So I correct them, I video what I did on editing, send it. I wanted this look. And after 2 months they get it, they get all my business. I still do some editing on portfolio stuff that I wanna keep. Or if it's a nice house and it's fun to shoot.
Sure.
But day-to-day real estate, normally I just leverage editors.
I think that's a great tip for anybody in any kind of photography, any business, is training. And I've done this with past businesses before. I always said that you hire somebody on, and the onboarding time that you spend with them, teaching them what to do and the procedures of how to do it, takes you away from your day-to-day. So if you can do, I had my production people do order entry, adding products, whatever it was, and I would do screen recordings, tutorials, like guided screen recording tutorials of how to do everything. So that's a great idea of providing them with, you said you would record yourself, screen recording, whatever, showing them how to edit. So if somebody learns, they're intermediate, they're working towards pro, or they're working towards growing their business, that's a great way to find somebody. Is here's what I want, here's how I want it done,
and train them.
Send it back, and if you do it, you got a full-time job.
Yeah, I mean, we get to the point that I couldn't shoot more than what I shoot, even with the editor and everybody else helping me. Right. So that was the time to say I need another photographer.
Right.
So leverage again.
Yeah.
I find a super talented person. Shout out to Brian, my photographer. Super talented. Very nice guy. We start training. I took him with me to the shoot, and he grabbed everything like this.
Yeah.
Training in one part, motivating people to work is another part. You can motivate anybody. If it's motivated and you can train them,
golden.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Well, that's a good segue to the end of our interview, I think, with the Mazel tov. So thank you so much, really, Nima, for sharing. And
no problem.
We're going to premiere this, so hopefully you can be online to answer any questions that you guys might have. If you do have questions for Nima, you've probably been posting them along this video, but you also have your Instagram page.
Yeah, usually on that.
We'll put that up right now so that you guys can check out his Instagram page, message him. He's learned from people. He's willing to share with you guys, just to help, because it's, we
have a great community, Matt. I mean, unbelievable community. There are a lot of people that you cannot believe at the highest level you reach them, they answer your question.
That's awesome.
I mean,
that's awesome.
I'm not there yet, but I'll be more than happy to help anybody I can.
That's awesome. Well, we did launch, and I did a video on it, a few weeks ago, our Creatives Helping Creatives Facebook group that we just launched. And the idea behind that is, everybody's going through tough times right now.
Yes.
I mean, you're trying to find the work, and we got a video coming up for getting started in product photography, because that's something you can do from home.
Yes.
Right? But now with real estate photography, with the 3D tours and things like that, I think that's another area that maybe somebody was an event photographer and there's no events.
Correct.
They need to get into real estate photography. Answer some quick questions. Won't take them long to get started. I started doing product photography for my neighbor and earning a few bucks that way. So I figured I would do a quick, getting started in product photography. So we're trying to help people out and make some bucks along the way until, God willing, that all this stuff comes back to
we have
normal.
to adjust with that one. So
you have to shift and you have to adjust, and you can't say, "Oh, I'm out of business. I'm gonna sit back and collect unemployment and not do anything," because in the long run, hey, you might find that you're really passionate about real estate photography. You're really passionate about product photography. I know I am. I really enjoy it. There's no one to deal with.
there you go. Yes, exactly.
And I got to do these custom candles
nice.
for one of our neighbors.
Yes.
And I was like, this is the most peaceful photography shoot because
Nobody's
they smelled
talking.
so good.
Yes. No, that's good.
Yeah.
And if they're started, they don't have a gear, that's where you go.
The cool pics. Oh no, gear focus
Gear
for the
focus.
gear. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have you go through and see if there's any good gear for beginners getting started. If there's any listings, we'll leave those in the description below. Guys, we always do a blog write up, so we'll leave a link there which has all of that information as well as in the description. And again, Nema, awesome chatting with you. Fantastic work. Yeah, fantastic work, really. And really appreciate you being on the Gear Focus channel. So thanks everybody for joining us. It was great to be back with another episode of our creator interview series. We'd like to thank Nema. Check out his work and Instagram message him if you got any questions or post them in the comments below. And again, we'll be back with more creator interviews in the days ahead. And remember, we're Gear Focus. We're here to help feed your passion. Cheers. Yeah?
Awesome.
All right. I'm starting to get it.
All right.
maybe after 3,000 shoots.